and welcome to episode 44 of the Sweet Lavender Knits podcast. My name is Christine and I'm coming to you from just outside of Toronto, Ontario in Canada. Today is Saturday, May the 2nd, and it's a Saturday that I am recording this video on, and it's probably going to be a shorter episode. I know I say that often and it never turns out to be, but I don't have a lot of knitting content today, but it's to share some exciting news with you, and I wanted to do that just as fresh as it was. First, I am very thrilled about it and I want to share it with you, and second, I'm hoping that this will give us a time as a group to prepare for it. But before that, you can find me on social media on Instagram as sweet_lavender1 and on Ravelry as sweetlavender1. We also have a lovely group on Ravelry called the Sweet Lavender Knits. So come on by, check us out, and you do want to join in if you want to participate in what I am going to share with you. I ask that if you are up to it, that you introduce yourself in the welcome thread, and really it is more the merrier. And yes, we have a lovely group of people there who have some really friendly chatter going on the different threads that we have. Currently we have the Find Your Frequency make along, and that is just to join in with whatever you're working on and to share a little bit about what makes you find your frequency or find your zone at these very strange times that we're in. I know that we're here in the 5th or 6th week of isolation or self-quarantine, and it is starting to become a little bit of normality around here, where I have a routine going on. My kids have a routine in their schoolwork, where they do a few hours of school every day throughout the week, and it's only really my youngest, my 11-year-old, who has to put in about 5 hours of school a week. And he can just find the time in the day whenever that's convenient for him. And my daughter is just about to graduate out of high school. Unfortunately, she doesn't have a graduation this year, nor a prom, which she was very excited about, but it's not happening, and they're understanding about why it is that way. So they probably will have something maybe extended towards the end of the year for the graduating class of June 2020. We'll have to wait and see on that. And my oldest is in university, so he's pretty much done and preparing for some summer school, which is going to be online courses that he needs to take. So yes, everything seems to be moving on, and I hope that all of you are well. I hope that you are taking care of yourselves, and I hope that your loved ones are safe and well as well. I know that different parts of the world, they are slowly easing the restrictions and sort of coming back into business, opening up businesses and opening up services. We haven't heard anything as yet, but there are talks of it. We recently had our Premier of Ontario say that they are looking into reopening or lifting some of the restrictions as early as 2 weeks from now. I think it's better that we ease back into it very slowly, because it's all new territory, and you know, it's better to take things slow and sort of find our way through it, I think. Yeah, that's just something that I felt. I'm actually trying to make the most of my time working from home, and I think my youngest son just decided to stomp around. Sorry if you can hear that. But yeah, you might have had a little peek of Charlie. He came to visit me just as I was setting up for the podcast. But he doesn't like to stay too long. If I close the door, he feels confined. So he needs to be able to walk around freely, and I just have my door closed so that there aren't too many distractions. Today my hair is up. You know, just as I would be at home most of the time. If I'm at home, my hair goes up in a bun, actually. That's the way to keep it off my face. And so I don't know if I've ever been in a podcast with my hair tied up before, but if I have, oh well. But if I'm not, here it is. This is the way I am at home, and most of the time it's not even a ponytail, it's up in a bun and you know, away from my face. I like it like that. Oh right, so you're probably wondering, how come Christina's doing another podcast in so quick of a time when I just uploaded one last week? I would love to sit here and talk to you guys every weekend. I would love that. But it's always because I don't have enough knitting content, and I feel it's not fair on you to be taking your time and not having enough to show you, right? And this is a one-way conversation, so it makes it even more harder for me to talk about, well, it's not very difficult for me to talk about nothing, really. I can go on and on about anything, but what it becomes strange is that I'm talking to myself in front of a camera here. So I don't have a lot of knitting content like I showed you, but I have made a little progress with a few more squares, and now I'm totally done with these green ones. There are some green ones, and this is again the same yarn that I showed you last time. I'm just done with it now. I've done the 3 squares I had, and actually I think I showed you these the last time, but this morning I made another 1 square, and this is off of some, it was actually a mini skein that I had, and I just made one of those up, and I have just completed another one that is ready to cut the yarn off, and I would have made 2. So let me just do that while I am talking to you. And so I'm just adding just adding squares to my Battenberg blanket, which is not a blanket right now, but that is the pattern. It's a lovely free pattern. I didn't mention that it is a free pattern, and it is by Sandra of Cherry Heart, and you can find it on Ravelry. And then she has, this is for somebody who said that they would love to do some crocheting, but they don't like having to join up all the squares. That's the part I don't like either, because I hate weaving in tails, and I just, you know, the ending, the finishing part, it kind of is like an after, you know, after you're done the whole thing, you gotta now do all of this. I know some people love weaving in ends and, you know, mattress stitching, or just all of the other finishing things that you have to do, even the button band on a cardigan. I would rather just like do something where it all is in one piece, if I could. But that aside, what I was trying to say is that Sandra of Cherry Heart, she has this lovely podcast. If you don't already know, go check it out. She does a lot of crocheting, but does some knitting and a little bit of sewing too, I think. And she has a tutorial on YouTube where she shows you how to join the squares as you go. So this is what I have so far. This is what I've done. I've added maybe 2 more squares since the last time I showed you, and you can see now it's taking on more of a rectangular shape. I added this one here and the one on the bottom, and I joined it in using this square this cream square in between. So the way the blanket works is that between each of the colored squares or your scraps that you have where you do up the squares, you join it in with a neutral color, which in my case is this cream. It's Holst Garn in the super soft base, and the color is ecru or ecru, and it's going, even though it looks a little stringy right now, I'll hold it back here, even though it looks a little more stringy compared to the other yarns, once you wash it, it blooms up a lot because it's got the spinning oil in there, and it makes it sort of like a very thin yarn. But when you wash it, it really blooms up, and it's really nice. It softens up too. So yeah, so these are squares I had, and I just put it in there. I joined it in using the square, and so she has a technique for that, and that has been very helpful, and I will put a link to that video down below in the description box so you can see it. So yes, it's grown just a little bit. That's something I've done over the last couple of days. I've tried, and now for May, I've given myself a little goal to try and do a square a day. So for today, I've done 2. So I'm gonna write that up because, well, it's the 2nd of May, and I didn't do a square yesterday. So these are my 2 squares for the 2 days. And yeah, so that's the first thing. So I will try and join this up after I'm done with the podcasting. And I have it in a little organza bag that I got chocolates in, like I mentioned. And the hook that I'm using is a 3mm hook. And you know what? The next time I will bring the set. I have it in my drawer in my room, so I'll bring you the set to show you. It's a really handy set. It's a set that came in a little pouch, and it has needles and a stitch mark counter, as well as a row counter, as well as some markers and everything in a little set. It wasn't very expensive either. It was pretty reasonable, actually. I also have this little scissors that my mom had from a very long time, and it's very handy because it folds in like that, and so it has no sharp edges, and so I keep that in the bag as well. So I've got all that I need in this bag, and I have these are the yarns I have so far to work the squares off of. And like I was saying, I don't have too many scrap yarn. Well, I have some minis that I received from my Advent, but I can't use those yet because I'm using it on another project, which is my 2nd work in progress. So I've made a little progress on this. This is the lovely yarn that I showed you the last time. It's the Sulca Legato, and this is from Uruguay, I think. Oh, it just says Peruvian Highlands. And it's a mirasolperu.com, that's their website, and it has 60% merino wool, 20% alpaca, and 20% silk. They don't have a colorway as such, so they just have a shade number, which is shade 4 on here, if you can see there. Yes, and it is lovely yarn. So the last time when I showed it to you, I had just cast on and done maybe about 1 or 2 rows, but now I've done a little bit more. And like I said, I am a slow knitter, but this is just 1 by 1 rib. And so I've been able to make some progress on it. These are high sharps that I'm using, and it is in the size, I believe it's 3mm needles on a 40-inch cord. And I'm just noticing that it's waving a little bit. I hope it blocks out okay. I did a tubular cast on, and that took me forever. And someone said, you know, 350 stitches, yikes. Yes, that was my reaction as well. But I am knitting the large size of the, I didn't tell you what pattern it is. It's Carla. It's called Carla, and it's from the Ficalana website. It's a free pattern. I will put up the designer's name on the screen. And it seems to be a lovely pattern that you can use minis as to work in the different colors, and that's what I'm doing. It was an idea that I was totally inspired by Kia's Bod, a podcast, Kia from Kia's Bod, and she did up her Advent cardigan that way. And I'm doing the same as well. I am doing a cardigan. The pattern is for a jumper, but I'm doing a cardigan. So what I did is I put in, I've never done a steek before, I'll tell you that, but I'm trying from, you know, what I've seen online, as well as what I sort of had to think it out a little bit. I've put in 5 extra stitches in between, and I'm right in the middle of it right now. So, and where I'm just knitting straight, and I will be doing that. So when I am ready to cut, I would be cutting right through the middle. I have a middle line to cut through, but I would reinforce the sides before I make that cut in the middle. So that is something I'm going to be doing, and this is my second work in progress. And of course I don't have any finished objects, unless you count those little squares. But yeah, and the other thing that I will be knitting for sure today is my Elton, because I am really loving it. I haven't done any work on it, but I would just hold it up here just to share it with you. I am really loving it, and I think you know, I know we're past spring. You know, it'll be too late before I'm done. I won't be done before the end of spring, maybe not even summer. But, you know, I think it'll make a really, really nice light cardigan with the mohair and the Tides base, which has silk in it. This is Holzgarn in the color Bloom. So this is my Elton, and it is a lovely pattern by Joji Locatelli. I like the look of the cardigan, and here I have the pattern in front of me so I can show it to you. It's a really nice, sort of a very casual, loose cardigan. It's got more fitted sleeves, but flowy body kind of thing, and I think that'll really go well with even some summer dresses, if I can get it done in time. But yeah, so I really like the look of the cardigan, but I was struggling with just the beginning, the instructions that were given and how to work around it. It's not difficult, it's just tedious, maybe a little fiddly, that's what I want to say. But yeah, definitely one that is worth trying, because it's just a lot of stocking net if you if you don't mind stocking net. So that is something I'm going to be working on as well for today. So those are I have my knitting all ready to go. My Winterfell is going to take a break for a bit. I need to pick up stitches on the sleeves. I haven't done that. Thank you for all the nice comments on the Winterfell. I have to say, if you are intimidated by color work, or if you think that looked complicated, it's absolutely not complicated at all. It was very, very straightforward, and Ellie of Skein Your Knits, it's her pattern, the Winterfell. She has some other basic patterns as well, so go for it, and you know, just give it a try, because her patterns are so well written out, and she has a lot of added information in there in case you want to customize your garment a little bit more, as far as waist shaping, as far as how to increase or decrease evenly across in a row, or just useful tips that she has incorporated in her pattern. I've tried two of her patterns. The Winterfell is the second one. The first one I think was her Selbu mittens, which again, I can tell you that the pattern is very well written out. I have not completed my Selbu mittens, but maybe that's something I will be able to pick up and get done before the end of, before next winter. We'll see. It all depends on how soon this, how much longer I have to spend at home, really. And like I said, I don't mind having a little more time. I would like that. I'm just gonna take a little bit of water. It is a very gloomy day today, and it is a little warm, so it's going to be a perfect day for us to maybe myself and my husband go out into the garden and rake up the ground and just tidy up the beds a little bit, because I haven't done that yet, and we should be ready to plant in 2 weeks. I have my seedlings growing indoors, and I was taking a peek at some of them. They're doing fine. My pea shoots are just doing really, really well. There are my tomato seeds that have not even popped out of the soil yet, so I don't know if I'm gonna have tomatoes. And for now, our garden centers are closed, so it's not like I can run to the store and buy some tomato plants either to pop it into the soil. So we'll see. We'll wait and see what happens. And I think I like that idea of growing from seed also. I've always liked it. It's just I've never been very successful at it, and I don't have a greenhouse. It's on my wish list. My husband knows about it. But the thing is, even if I did have a greenhouse and if I had all of the tools and everything, it's just I don't have time. And what I really would ask, if I could ask for a present for Christmas, it would be that I would have more time. Really, I would really like that. And this is why I like to be able to work from home, and I hope that it would be an option for me once it all goes back, that they will continue to provide us that, continue to give us that option to work from home, because it makes a big difference for me. I'm way more relaxed. I'm able to get more things done. Oh yes, the reason why I'm sitting here chatting to you today is because this morning, or this afternoon for me, I'm sorry, I sound a little congested. Like I said, I'm suffering seasonal allergies, and it sort of clears up through the day, but some days not, especially when it's cold outside. But today isn't so cold. I'm still sounding like that. Yes, so this afternoon we had planned this. One of my viewers, Mary Ellen, she has been so kind in contacting me and asking me if I would be interested to have a knit night sort of thing, or how do you say, a live chat. And we tried it after weeks of planning this and not being able to connect for whatever reason it was over, and we had set it to a Saturday afternoon. It happened today for the first time, and I have to say it was very, very nice. I thoroughly enjoyed my time chatting with Mary Ellen, and we got to know each other a little bit. And so for now, it's just her and me, but I want to invite all of you, any of you who are interested, to come on and join in. So what we're doing is a Zoom chat on Zoom, and it's a free download. And most of you probably know this, where you could have a video chat as a group. We could have like one of us hosts the meeting, and for now it's been Mary Ellen. She's done that, and I can try and figure it out as well, so we can see how it goes. And the free version allows you to chat for about 40 minutes. So that should give us plenty of time to sort of wet our feet into it and get into it. So it's not too long of a time, as well as not too short. It sort of helps us to sort of get in and say hi to each other, show you know, what we're working on maybe, or just even if you don't want to be knitting or crocheting or doing anything at that time. It's just a nice way of connecting. And I know some of you are really finding the isolation or quarantine a little difficult, and I thought this would be a really nice way for us to interact with each other a little bit more, and it'll feel more like a proper knit night. So yes, what do you think of that? I hope there, and you know what, I'm aware that we're all in different time zones. Actually, Mary Ellen and myself are in different time zones. So for now, we've just set it to something a little more central, and we'll see how it goes, and it'll just maybe organically evolve that way. So the time that we have is Pacific time at 9 a.m., which is Mary Ellen's time, and Eastern Standard at 12 p.m. noon, 12 noon, which should be still not too late for those of you who are in Europe, and I'm not sure what the time zone will be in Australia and New Zealand. So I'll look at that, and I will see. If you are able to connect, and it's only for about half an hour to 40 minutes, and we can have a live chat. Now, the way this is going to work, because we've never done this before, Mary Ellen nor myself, so I suggested that we would open a thread in Ravelry, and you can go there and sort of say that you're interested, or look for the information there. I'll post sort of an intro there, and maybe at the time of the meeting, about I think Mary Ellen would have to give this information, but I think we can do an invitation ahead of time, maybe a day ahead of time. The invitation includes a meeting number as well as a passcode, and you just have to go in there, put in your meeting number and the passcode, and you will join into the meeting. So we thought we would try this out and see how it goes, and so yeah, do join in, please. I think it'll be fun, and you know what, it's very informal, and it's just a nice way to connect and get to know each other. And so I hope you will join. Like I said, I'll set up the Ravelry group, and you can go in there and check it out. If you are not on Ravelry, please message me down below in YouTube, and we will see how we can connect you into the meeting some other way, by providing you with the details some other way. Yes, so that is that. I thank you very much for joining me today. I hope all of you are well, like I was saying, and I'm losing light. It's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 2:24, and it's starting to get very dark outside. I don't know why, but yeah, it's probably going to rain. Maybe it'll get cooler that way. We'll see. My plans for this evening are going to be watching some TV, getting some knitting done, working on my Elton a little bit, and then I will settle down in the late evening to record this podcast and get it uploaded. I like to upload overnight because I think it works best. Everyone else is using the internet during the day, so it's a lot slower, and it takes me forever. I just set it to upload and sort of fall asleep, and I schedule a time so that it shows up on YouTube at that time, so it works out for me. Thanks again for joining me today. I really enjoyed sitting here and chatting with you. I hope you guys stayed till the very end to hear that part. And I hope that some of you will be interested to come and join in with our knit nights. For now, it's going to be on a Saturday, and probably schedule, we had one today, so probably schedule the next one for not the next Saturday, but the week after, and that should give us plenty of time to sort of get a group going, find out all of the information that we need, and maybe do some test runs if we can, and get it up and going. So we'll see. Thanks again for joining me. I hope you enjoyed your time with me. Got some knitting, crocheting, sewing, embroidery done, and until next time, happy crafting. Bye-bye.